Good morning, I'm Allie. Welcome to Little Hill Homestead. It is bright and early, which is why I look like I just got out of bed because I did. One of our kids who doesn't live at home happens to be here this morning to work on a project, and he said, "Hey, I want some oatmeal." And then we have a friend who is in town who says we make really good oatmeal. And I thought, well, we just make normal oatmeal, but I will show you this morning how we make apparently really good oatmeal. We use quick oats or instant oats. You can do this with old fashioned. I just find this to be quicker. Anyways, I have my pot on. We keep our oats in these jars from plastic containers from Sam's Club, and I have the recipe written on the lid because my brain doesn't work like that to remember stuff. Anyways, for a single batch, it's a half a cup of oats and 1 cup of water or milk and a dash of salt. I'm multiplying it by 3 so that we have enough for everybody this morning. Or 4, 3. I'm doing it by 3. So I have 3/4 of a cup of just water going in. I like to do half water and half milk. I feel like it gives you a much creamier, tastier oatmeal overall. I don't like to do all milk because I feel like it's a little too rich. So I do half and half. Simple, right? Whoops. You could use powdered milk in this instance if you wanted to. That'd be totally fine. I'm just dumping it everywhere. Happy. It's an early Saturday morning. And, sometimes we just, we're just here for the ride. I'm just making a giant mess. Oh, well, such is life, right? I'm going to add my dash of salt. I just kind of do a pinch. Nothing fancy. What are you guys up to today? Anything fun and interesting? We have the chicken coop. I don't know. It feels like half built, might be 2/3. I don't know. We've got a ways to go on it. The chickens are 6 weeks old now, and the amount of mess that those girls can make, we have them confined to our laundry room. I may have to burn the laundry room down once this is over because the amount of mess and dust that those girls make is kind of unbelievable, actually. So we try to take them outside every day, and they love it. We just don't have a place we can leave them outside yet for long stretches, so it's only when I'm with them that they can be out there. But they have learned a new trick. At night, they have learned that if they scream bloody murder, like something is happening, that I run in there. And they're only doing it to say, "Hey, Mom, we're here. Did you forget about us?" So that's fun. They do all have little weird personalities to show up. There's some that are definitely stronger personalities, and then we have, kind of the chill ones. But anyways, they've learned how to, get Mom's attention. So anyways, our oatmeal, we've been making it this way for years. I am a sucker for oatmeal. If we stopped at a hotel or if we're ever somewhere that has oatmeal on the menu, I tend to order it, which is kind of odd, right? I know. I don't know. We go to a place called Yours Truly up in Ohio. It's in Mentor. And they had oatmeal on the menu. And they have like Eggs Benedict and, some awesome, awesome meals. And I ordered oatmeal. I don't know. It's a thing. Anyways, I like a creamy oatmeal that's not too thick. This one, if it does last in the refrigerator, you can put it in the fridge and eat it later. It will thicken up to like a clump. So if you're going to do it for longer term, I would up the liquid. Instead of 1 cup, I would probably do 1 1/4 cups of liquid to try to get it to loosen up a little bit. But I don't know. You do you. So like I was saying, you can use non-instant oats as well. They're going to take longer to cook. They're like 10 minutes versus like 2 to 3. This is just what I use this for. I don't know. It's just what we have. But in store today, more chicken coop. It's like the never-ending chicken coop. And then my son, he's just as creative as Sean and I are. And he decided he wanted to build a desk. But not like just from wood. He had like aluminum cut to his specific request from some company. And he's putting like a faux plant wall on it. And he's got, I don't even know, you guys. This thing is like a behemoth of a desk. It's down in our garage. It's taken up the whole garage. So he's worked on it every single night this week, which is nice because we got to feed him every night. Usually they just come over on Mondays, but we got to see him every day because his girlfriend was working out of town. But yeah, it's been company in town, and Garrett, our oldest, you guys have seen him in videos. He was in town, or he only lives the town over, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but everybody was here, so we've been cooking up a storm, and it's been fun. It's been fun. But our friend who's in town, we've told you he's in town for 3 weeks. It's actually his brother, who's also a buddy of ours. It's his 50th birthday, so he's flying home for that, and then he'll be back. So it gives us a couple days of some easier meals to kind of recuperate, clean the house, and regroup before we get him for another week. So that's exciting that he'll be back, but it's also exciting that we get a couple days to kind of, I mean, when he's here, he just does what he does, and we do what we do. Nothing really changes. I do the same stuff that I would normally do because he's been our best friend. So Sean grew up with him. His name is Matt. Sean grew up with him. I put 1 cup of oats in, and I'm going to do another half cup. It just started boiling. I guess I should tell you what I'm doing instead of just talking, right? 1.5 cups of oats going into the pot. I'm just going to give it a little stir, and I'm going to turn my heat just down so it doesn't boil over. So our buddy Matt that's in town is Sean's best friend. They've known each other since they were like, I don't even know, probably 3 or 4 years old. They went to church together. And Matt, since Sean and I got married, has just always been, his whole family actually, has been kind of a staple in our life. We had our first child at 18 years old, and his mom saw a need at our church for a young moms club. And so she started a young moms club when we were young, which was quite a while ago. So she did that for us when we were young, and Matt's just always been part of our lives, his family. We did the video the other day with the Caesar salad. That's his sister's recipe. And then his brother Scott is a teacher. But anyways, they've always been in our lives. But Matt he used to pick our kids up from daycare when I was working and Sean was in school, or take them places. He's a single dude, and he would pitch in with our kids when they were little, just like it was no big deal. So he used to keep a car seat in his car as a single guy. So he's just that kind of guy. But yeah, since we moved to Georgia, I mean, when we lived in California, he would just stop by all the time because it was like we were right there. But now that we live in Georgia, he comes out for 3 weeks, twice a year, 2 times a year. Yeah, that's the word. And we just hang out. But he's been around for so long that it's just, he's just kind of fits right in. The dogs don't even bark when he walks in the house anymore because they already know who he is. So anyways, our oatmeal, I'm just stirring. It was 1.5 cups of oats with our liquid. I'll put the single recipe below, and you just multiply it by whatever you want. It just takes a couple minutes to thicken up, and it'll be good to go, and then I'll show you how we serve it. But today was more, I keep doing chit chats. When we have company in town, it's hard to like stage a whole video and have these intense things. So we're kind of doing little tidbits right now. And then once company's out of town, we'll get back to some kind of normal, longer, drawn out videos. I have a list going, and one of the ones I'm very, very excited about is a Castile soap base. It's a really thick base that you dilute with water as needed. So that's going to be a fun one that's coming up. We've been working on that. And then I'm thinking of doing some more easy dinner meals, things like maybe that you get at restaurants that you can make at home. Like we did crunch wraps from Taco Bell the other night at home, and they're delicious. They're actually really easy. So things like that might be a low cost, easy to make meal for your family. But I always say, you guys, give us ideas. We keep a running list, but I'm thinking this may not be as cool for some of you guys, but because we have younger kids, I'm thinking of showing you guys how to make things that you can freeze, like chicken sandwiches or pizza pockets or chicken nuggets, or things that we currently still purchase that we're working on. Some of them we already have transferred over to not purchasing any longer. But if you have kids, it's like Pop-Tarts, all that junk food that they love that you could probably make. So we're working on doing some of those and throwing those on the channel. But dinner ideas. Meatball sandwiches was one you guys wanted to see. Steaks in the oven was one you guys wanted to see. So we're working. We got ideas. Anyways, our oatmeal is just about done. Let me show you what it looks like. So it's just kind of it's cooked through at this point because it's been a couple minutes. It still looks really runny. It will thicken up as it sits on the counter. So, whoop. Did I even point you the right way? I don't know. So that I'm just going to turn off, Now that I know that it's cooked through, I'm gonna turn it around and put it on the island. I'm gonna show you how we serve our oatmeal. But anyways, what I was saying, I'm steaming up my own glasses. If you guys have any ideas, if you wanna drop a little vanilla in this, if you guys have any ideas of videos you want to see, we're working on doing more fresh milled flour. We're working on more bread machine recipes. We just got a Bosch mixer used, so I got it on a really good price. So we're gonna be throwing some of that in. Frozen mashed potatoes, I got stuff. But if there's anything that you're like, man, I really wanna see this, let me know. We have a lot of videos, you guys, already. So, or if you guys ever request one and I'm like, oh, we already have that, I'll send you the link. That's what we do. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna turn our oatmeal around, get it off the heat, and I'll show you what's what. Okay, I'm hoping you can see this. As you can see, it's kind of a runny, I don't know if you can see it or not, runny, at this point, still oatmeal. Like I said, I like it to be a little thinner. It's gonna thicken up as it cools. So to me, that's a really great consistency. I just give a couple scoops to each person. Actually, I leave it on the counter, and as people wake up, it microwaves really easily, and they can put whatever they want on it. My family's biggest thing that they put on their oatmeal is brown sugar. We have a brown sugar recipe. It's sugar molasses. It's super easy to make. So that is one. Can you even see what I'm doing? Here, let's move that. There. So what I do is we have a hutch on that wall. You guys see it every once in a while. It's full of mason jars of things that we keep, like dried ingredients, dried fruit, dried nuts, things like that. So I go over there and I go, what do people like on their oatmeal? Sometimes I have fresh fruit in the house. Right now I don't. So I have dried blueberries and dried raisins. I let people kind of pick what they like to put on there. Dried cherries are really good on it. My favorite thing is a couple dried blueberries, a little bit of brown sugar, and I love sliced or slivered almonds, whatever you want to call them. You know, the kind that look like this. And I just throw a little handful of those on there. I also have one kid who loves cinnamon, so he just does a tiny bit of the cinnamon and sprinkles it over. But that's it, like whatever you guys like on it. Okay, we're gonna use this spoon because that's what I've got. There's our oatmeal, boom. See how it's like nice and thick? Slightly runny, but not like a clump. I don't like when oatmeal is like one blob. That to me is not a go. So this is our consistency. If you're not an oatmeal fan, I apologize. It's probably not the video for you. But what I love about oatmeal, we get our oats from Azure Standard. They are extremely reasonably priced. They go a long way. If you don't have milk, you can use just water. If you don't have a lot of toppings, you could throw just sugar on it. But the fun thing is, we do this often, and we have since the kids were really little, is let your kids pick their toppings. They think it's so cool. Like, oh, look, they'll probably make some concoction that it looks totally disgusting. But let them have at it, and it's fun for them. And you can do whatever you want. Have I told you? This is my story time today. Anyways, so Matt will be back in a couple days, and we'll reamp up some fun cooking stuff. I'm going to try to film while he's not here for a few days to get you guys 5 videos a week. But I think I've told you this before, for Thanksgiving, we always let our kids kind of dictate and pick what we have for Thanksgiving. Now, not when they were kids. When we lived in California, we would have 40 to 50 people at our house. We would cook up to 6 turkeys. Everybody would pitch it into different sides. Sean's family came over. My family came over. I've made neighbors probably even showed up at this point. We wouldn't even know. And we'd have a huge Thanksgiving celebration. So when we moved to Georgia and it was just the 5 of us at home, I was like, dude, I do not want to cook turkeys. I don't want to do stuffing. I don't want to do any of it. So we started letting the kids pick whatever they wanted for Thanksgiving. So sometimes it was like tacos and, whatever they came up with. Well, one year, our youngest, he's quite the character. He doesn't ever want to be on the channel. Maybe I will eventually. He's the one that makes the garden trugs. He was like, gosh, he was probably 8 or 9 at this point. We make homemade pizza. And he said, I really want gummy worm pizza. I was like, what on earth is gummy worm pizza? And so he said, well, Ma, it's gummy worms on a pizza. And I was like, okay, this is how kid mind works. So we made pizzas for everybody in the family. Got to pick their own ingredients, and everybody had their own pizza. And PJ, our youngest, had a pizza we even asked him, like, do you just want gummy worms? Like, do you want like a cream cheese kind of a base? Well, like, what are you thinking here? No, red sauce, cheese, and gummy worms, y'all. This it was the grossest thing. So gummy worms melt in the oven. So it became a gummy worm disc on the top of the pizza that once it got hard again, once it cooled to room temp, it became a disc of gummy worms. So that kid ate the entire thing. I think he might have asked for a second one. It was the grossest thing. Like, it was nasty. But this is the thing. He still remembers it to this day. So if your kids want to put totally funky stuff on their oatmeal, just let them. I mean, put nerds. Let it get all kinds of crazy colors. Do whatever you want. I don't know. But anyways, put out lots of options. That's all I'm saying. Sliced strawberries. Cinnamon sugar is good. Any kind of pumpkin pie spice would be delicious. Maybe sneak a little pumpkin puree in it. Anyways, get creative. This is a great base to go off of. I will put the recipe. This is like the longest crazy talk. Everybody's asleep in my house right now, except for me. So you get to see where my brain really goes. Anyways, thank you for watching. I always, if you hit the description button below, the recipe is generated there, and you guys can screenshot it, print it. I keep saying this. We are working. We're working on either a blog or a cookbook. Not sure which yet. We have a publisher that's reached out to us about working with them on a book. So you never know. Who knows, right? Anyways, that is all, folks. That's all, folks. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go eat my oatmeal and see how it thickened up? Yep. Go eat my oatmeal. Get me a little energy for the day. Yes, I'm eating my oatmeal with a tablespoon, a vintage tablespoon. Such is life. Happy Saturday, right? Anyway. Good old oatmeal. Have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for watching. We're just keeping it real here at Little Hill Homestead. Eating with our mouths full. Just got out of bed. Have a great day, guys. One more thing, totally forgot to mention. Now you get more up close and personal with my just got out of bed look. I have a recipe for steel cut oats. There's an overnight oats that you do in the crock pot. And it's got like maple syrup and cinnamon, and it's delicious, and you don't even have to do anything. It just cooks overnight. If you guys would be interested in seeing that one as well, let me know. I'll be happy to show you, of course. Anyways, okay, have a good day.